Here we go with phase one of the Vortex project. The first thing that you're going to do is draw a frame on your paper. Please notice that I have used the larger Sharpie, okay, which is what I'd like you to do. I'd also like you to keep your frame simple, like this one, just a single line. If you need to fix anything, then go ahead and thicken it up in areas if you need to. Draw it freehand and try not to draw it too far in. You're going to want a lot of room in here now, okay? So you can see that there's not a whole lot of room between the frame and the edge of the paper. It's about the width of my pinky at the most. All right, so here we go. Phase one. The phase one criteria is what we want to keep in mind here, all right? The criteria is all of your lines that we're going to draw in this phase need to be drawn very lightly, okay? All right. That is, by the way, worth 3 points. So the first thing I'm going to do is choose where the deepest part of my vortex is going to be. And it can be right in the center, or it can be off center if you'd like. I'm going to put mine in the same place that I put this one, all right? I'm going to try to recreate this pretty closely so that it makes sense to you. So here's what I did. I chose that. Don't put a big, huge dot there, just a needle-sized dot. The next thing you're going to do is draw 10 lines that converge onto this point, all right? You don't need a ruler. 1, and I'm going to go like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to look at my drawing and see which spaces need to be divided in half. And I would say maybe 9 could go here, and 10 could go here. I could move a line if I want to, which I think I might do here. Another reason for keeping your lines very light, so you can make changes if you want to, okay? You don't want all of the sections that you create to be completely even with each other. It just doesn't create the illusion as well. Okay, so now I've got my converging lines. They're converging all to the center point. The next thing I'm going to do is draw the curved lines that create the checkerboard that goes down into the vortex, okay? Okay, so remember, when things look like they're further away from us, they look smaller. So my first curved line is going to be right about here. Don't put it so far down that it's going to create any shape smaller than that, because it'll be too hard to color in. All right. Now, not only do these lines have to be light, but they also sort of have to meet, okay? Meaning, ooh, that's not a very good curve. Make sure the deepest part of your curve is in the center part of your sort of triangular shape here that's going down. When I say the lines need to meet, that means, see this curved line here and this curved line here? The ends of this curved line meet the ends of this curved line and the end of this curved line. So all of the ends of the curved lines meet up. Do this slowly so that it comes out correctly, all right? I'm also doing this lightly so that they can be erased, because some of them, no matter how perfect they are going to need to be erased so that they don't show in the spheres, okay? All right, now, I made my first set of curved lines. My second set needs to look like it's further away. So you're going to need to make it, you know, a little further away than the first set is to the center. These guys need to be a little further away, all right? Remember, the checkerboard is going to get bigger as it goes towards the viewer. Okay, I think I wasn't paying enough attention to these guys. They need to be further away. Okay, that's better. That makes more visual sense. Okay, now the next set is even further away. Do not let your curve of your checkerboard lines flatten out. This one here is a little too flat. Otherwise, the illusion that you're trying to create won't happen. Okay, there. Well, I'm having a hard time with this one. Okay. Okay, now this one is going to be really big. And I like to draw as if I'm sort of going off the page so I can make sure it's correct. Now this one here I won't be able to do. This one is just barely part of it. And this one. Okay, that's all the viewer is going to be able to see. Okay. The next step, you need to figure out which parts of this checkerboard are going to be colored in Sharpie. And the reason we need to figure that out now is because once you draw your spheres and you're covering parts of the checkerboard, you could make a mistake when you're trying to figure it out. And we don't want to do that. Okay, now you're going to go down to the center. I didn't erase those lines very well. Go down to the center. Start in one of these triangles and put a teeny X very lightly in case you've done it wrong. All right. Then skip a space, put another X. The X's are where we're going to use Sharpie to color in those shapes. You want to make sure that you don't have two X's that end up next to each other. That means you don't have the right amount of converging lines, all right? So it should be X, skip a space, X, skip a space, X, skip, X, skip, X, skip. It comes out right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of the sort of parts of the checkerboard, start with an X, skip a space, put another X down, skip a space, go to the next one. That's a skip, X, skip, X. Continue all the way around. Go slow. You're going to think you know how to do it, and you do, but your brain is going to get messed up if you go too fast, okay? What's going on there? Okay. Now, that is all we're going to do for today, okay? You need to make sure that all of your lines and all of your X's are drawn lightly. That's worth 3 points. You need to upload your work. The other thing that you that I'm going to be looking at with your work today is that your curved lines in the checkerboards, these lines here, are all meeting each other. That's worth 2 points, all right? So please finish this phase, upload your work. Remember, if you don't upload your work today for this phase, then you're not going to get that point at the end, okay? Okay, good luck.